us and you're wondering what we are discussing this morning, it's simple. Civility in political conversation. Now that is what we are discussing together with my guest in studio, one who has done much in sensitization and campaigns surrounding political civility in civility in political conversation. In a bid, we are trying to make sure that in as much as we are engaging, talking about our politics, we should do it in a more civilized way, a dignified way, with a lot of respect in terms of respecting one's view, one's idea, and one's stand politically speaking. And out from that also as well, we are also discussing on the importance of women and youths in participating in all this issue that concerns political civility. And coming back to you,
yes, please.
If we want to solve the issue of intolerance, looking at the intolerance bit of it, we find out youths are the ones who are being used to cause some bit of problems here and there that may result to intolerance in the country, politically speaking now. And they're saying that there is need for the women and youths to participate in this whole aspect. How important is it?
It's important first because we are saying that youth and women are not voting machines. Mm-hmm. Yes. First, they need to participate in the whole journey of finding good leaders.
Right.
They need to participate in the voting process, and they also need to participate in accountability checks, even as this leader is fulfilling the services. Mm-hmm. So they need to participate in political conversations and in a civil way first, because they have challenges. Youth and women both are human beings. And if they are human beings, they have challenges. And if they have challenges, it is their right for them to be heard. And it's their right for them to say that I have this and this challenge and I feel that this is the solution. So it is their right. It's a matter of, it's a human right thing. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. Of course. Do you feel the youths out there and the women are taking up this campaign so seriously that you are propelling?
I think they're taking them seriously because first, if you look at the country's position, we find that many youth are now registered voters. Mm. So if they are registered voters, mean they are ready to cast votes. Mm-hmm. If they are ready to cast votes, then that means they are they really want to participate in the political discourse.
Right.
So if they want to participate in the political discourse, then it is a chance for them to be civil. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right.
Like the number of votes signals that the youth are ready to participate in the political positions. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And the registered number of voters now.
The registered
right,
number of voters.
Of course. Looking at political conversation participation now, women still have a lot to do.
Yes,
and we have fewer women who are out there to talk about issues of politics. And if at all us, we come out and pick a microphone and go out there to get views concerning our politics, you'll hear women say, mimi na siasa wapi na wapi. Is that even worry you some kind of way as a woman?
It does worry me as a woman, and we also can't blame these women because they have been experiencing a lot of unseen injustices. Mm-hmm. And even as we want to talk about political conversations, we should start with empowerment. Mm-hmm. So even in our talks, we are going to look at the specific things that are used to discriminate women, for example, because of their gender, mm-hmm. for example, because of maybe cultural beliefs that a woman should places in the kitchen and all that. Mm-hmm. These are also some of the things that we are going to address. So if we address this, we are going to empower them and package them in a way that they will be ready to participate in this conversation. So we are not starting at the base that you are women, come, let's participate. No, we are starting with solving the unseen injustices mm-hmm. that are affecting women. Mm-hmm. From the kitchen, from their gender, from their ages, from their families and all that. We are going to solve all that so that we empower them to make a change.
Right.
Yes.
Is it achievable?
Of course it is. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Like empowerment programs, there have been different empowerment programs. And from these empowerment programs, also the results are measurable. Many NGOs have taken part in empowering women, right. And even if you go to the hospitals, the results are achievable. Mm-hmm. So if it is achievable, then it's not rocket science. We are also going to achieve it by empowering them. Mm-hmm. And also, we are not saying that women and youth should participate in political conversations alone. No. Everybody should participate in political conversations, but we are looking at these two people because they are the ones who are most marginalized and experiencing lots of problems. And we are calling even the men and all other generations to support them in this. We are not saying that men are bad, we deal with women to participate. No, we are saying that a man should stand with a woman, not standing for a woman. Mm-hmm. Yes.
You as a woman,
yes.
What are some of the fears that you feel are resulting to a lack of more women in participating in political conversations?
People fear other people being judgmental to them. First, because you are a woman, like I'm a Muslim woman, okay? So if I go out there and participating in political, like many people are going to judge me first. Who is going to marry you? You want to be all over the net, you want to be all over in televisions that you are participating in things that are for men. So people are being judgmental. So it's a high time for us to educate the society that it is normal for a woman to participate in this. Kwani mwanamke si binadamu, so it's a human being. Then he has every right to participate in things that are supposed to solve their problem. We are saying that the person who wears the shoes knows where they hurt most.
Right.
So I'm a woman, I'm wearing the shoes. Let me participate because I know what hurts me. I can participate way better than person participating on my behalf.
Right.
So we should be open to this. Yes.
Right. So the aspect of also you're bringing on board something that pertains our cultures, Africans, and religion. Do you feel also are factors that are resulting to a lack of more women and youth to participate?
Yes, they impede women participation. Yes, they impede women participation.
What needs to be done now?
People need
these
to
are our
understand.
cultures. We need to live with them, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. What needs to be done is we should understand that we are one and the same, and we have been created by the same God, and promoting shared humanity across. First, because you are a human being. Okay, you are a man.
Right.
Are you a human being?
True.
I'm a woman. I'm a human being, right? You have problems, right? I also do have problems. So what makes you feel that you should be the only one who is talking about your problems to be addressed, and you also talk on my behalf? What makes you feel like, will you be comfortable I talk on your behalf and everything? Of course no. And that is very open. So in as much as you feel like you are human and you should participate, also be considerate on my side that okay, you are a woman, also participate, because you know where it hurts most.
Right. When you walk around here and we meet families, you find a man, a woman, and the kids.
Yes.
And the position, political position, and the side of the man is the side of the whole house.
Yes.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
I
here.
understand what you are saying. Yes.
Is that how we should have it go with, or do you feel also the woman should have her stand and have her own view, divergent, maybe different from whatever her husband is talking about politically?
It's actually a guaranteed right that there should be equal participation in the political discourse. That is known. Okay, so if you are a man and you're the head of the family, that is what is believed. Okay, in African culture, that a man is the head of the family, and apparently nowadays we see different types of families, maybe like single parents, where the woman is the head, or even you'll find a family there is a man and the woman, but still it's the woman who is doing everything and all that. So we are not saying that we want to despise the place of a man in a family. No, what we are saying is that we all have that right to air our views and have our own stands when it comes to matters to do with politics. So if, in as much as you want to be respected as a man with your political views, also respect what your wife wants.
Right. Of course. And you're mentioning something that also the men have a role to play in making sure that these women participate in political conversations.
Yes, they do.
And of course, we should as well as support them, largely so, in making sure that they engage. How should the support be like?
Number one, there might be a public discourse meeting, okay? Or a public baraza or anything where people are supposed to go and participate in political conversations.
Right.
And your wife tells you, okay, baba fulani, nataka kupitia pale, kuna mazungumzo ya kisiasa, nataka kwenda kusikia. You're telling her, you can't go there if you are my wife. You can't go there. So you've already impeded her rights to participate politically, which is wrong. So we should respect this, and if they want to go there and we know what they're going to do, shika mkono ya bibi yako, go there, listen, participate and all that.
Right.
Tusiwakataze kwenda participate in such forums. Yes.
Right.
That is, you show support.
Right. And I want to get your feeling on how we've seen quite a change in the dynamics of our politics now that we've seen women, we've seen also young ladies coming out to speak about politics and engaging in some political conversation. How does that make you feel, you know?
That makes me feel good because it signals that women are tired with the problems and the issues that they are facing, and they feel that they are the right candidates to talk about these issues. So if that's what they feel, then they should participate in this, because maybe they trusted the other gender to represent them in all those years, and they feel like there is no good change that is being made. So if she wants to stand as a woman or she wants to stand as a young girl to represent the rest, then that's okay. That's okay, yeah.
Right. So does that give you some bit of impression that there is light at the end of the tunnel?
It sure does. What makes me worry is the political divide and it's the civility that is happening right now, like discriminating women just because of their gender not to participate in. That is what worries me. But if I see them coming out to vie for these seats, that's a good signal.
Right. Now, speaking, let's narrow it down to our coastal area here.
Yes.
We know on how our Muslims and Muslim sisters and brothers and men and women treat these issues about politics here. You find this is something that, from where I come from, Kulebara, you'll find they are more engaged. But when you come to our coastal areas, we have fewer women speaking about politics and conversations around politics. Do you feel also in coast it's something that we need to have a discussion about, and are we likely to see a change in it as well?
Of course, it's something that we should discuss about, and I feel like it's more of stereotypes. Because even when you look at the history of Islam, we had women leaders at those times. So it is. I don't think if it is about Islamic as a religion, I think it's more about culture. It's something that we have cultivated to feel like it's religion, but it's not religion. It's actually culture. But Islamic religion really advocates for the rights of women, and Islamic religion also supports women in leadership. So I feel that that's it. That is a cultural stereotype that we should manage.
Right.
Yes.
If you managed, they will as well manage.
They will as well match in participating.
Now, supposing they are watching you right now, the Muslim women and ladies, young girls who are coming on board, and they feel like political conversations are not our thing. What can you advise?
Maybe I will encourage them. I will encourage them to take part in political conversations, because just as I am, I will not agree to let someone decide on what I'll do, how my life is going to be in 5 years after we vote and all that. The changes that I want to. I told you politics is a way of life. So I will tell them that do not let someone put in place what it should be or how it should be. Be the change yourself. Yes.
Right. Now let's talk a little bit about the pledge that you had spoke about earlier on. What exactly is it, and what does it entail? The pledge you're talking about.
The pledge simply factors in most of the values of communication. That even as you communicate, you are going to respect this other person. Even in what you do, you are going to be considerate to these other people. That you will not be used to propagate propaganda that is hurtful to people, or it's not real. So it's more about being human and saying that I'm going to stick to these values to make sure that we are achieving a civic discourse. And it's very important for all of us to take. It's not a rule per se and does not have a legal backing that if you do this and if you do this, if you do it the other way around, then we are going to approach it towards the legal discourse. No, it's not about that. It is just us accepting that we are human, and even as you communicate, we are going to be respectful to each other. Right. So it is a pledge with your heart. Yes.
Right. And somewhere I read that civility is not like a legislation somewhere.
Exactly.
It always starts with you yourself inside your heart.
Yes.
Right. So it's a one-man's decision.
It's a one-man's decision, because even as I step out and say that Shadrach is a liar, Shadrach this and this and this, the chances of you getting maybe taken to court or even taken to, they are very little, because you don't have a legislation per se for that. It is just you saying that because I'm human enough, I want the world to be a better place for everyone. So I'm going to stick to these values to ensure that it's good for all of us. So it's you as a person. Yeah.
Right. And supposing if I want to take that pledge, how do I start from? Where exactly do I start from?
The pledge is available online. It does not need you to come to me or to go to someone else. It just needs you to read and understand what is there and be human and feel whatever is happening. Yeah.
Right. Quite a bit of a consideration there. There is that pledge that the campaign is all about, making sure that you agree to the fact that you are the one who is supposed to make the world a better place to live in, making sure that we extend a hand of kindness, togetherness, tolerance, in a bid to make sure that we have a peaceful environment to live in. And the peaceful environment to live in starts with making sure that you support one's idea. We may agree to disagree, but of course that is not something that should make or rather pull us apart, but to bring us together in making sure we solve the different problems that we are having in the country and in our society together as one. But
just to add on that, even as you take your pledge, it's voluntary. You can slide into our DMs in Facebook, in our Facebook page, and share your contact details that you support the movement and all that. We are going to have you at our database because numbers speak a lot. If Mombasa Civility Talk Series, we stand one day and say that we have 100,000 people in Mombasa who are supporting a civic discourse, everybody will want to say that, okay, so what is this civic discourse? Because it is going to be very attractive and very interesting, and everyone will want to okay, I should do this. Right. So the numbers, we need the numbers. Please support us.
And looking at the numbers currently, are they promising?
They are promising because Mombasa Civility Talk Series is not even 1 month old, and the people that we have reached, even from our social media analysis, we've reached even more than 5,300 people, and different people are taking the pledge of civility. So it's very promising. Like, everyone out there is like, you know what, we need to speak the language of civility. Yes.
Right. Of course. Now, speaking about the language of civility, we are moving closer to the campaign period.
Yes.
We'll have discussions at our places, workplaces, our home places. Yes. We'll be engaged in these political conversations day in, day time. What should we put into consideration during this political conversations time?
It's very simple. First, you need to learn how to separate between political position and values. If we do that, we are good. Yes, because that is how we are going to put the relationships intact, regardless of our political differences. That in as much as we are discussing this leader that you support, that I don't support, don't get personal, or be able to separate between my positions and my values. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to be divided by someone who is not even there hearing us talking about him. No, we don't want that. So learn how to differentiate between the political position of somebody and the values in it.
Right. And there's that saying that these leaders that, of course, we argue about, find time during the night and go sit down and eat lunch and dinner together. And we are out there suffering with our problems.
I think that is very open. Even if you look at the history of the country, when we were facing different types of violence after the electoral process, most of our leaders, many of them, they approach the court recourse. And what are we doing as citizens? We are in the streets burning our houses. We are in the streets killing ourselves. We are in the streets stealing and doing all these bad vices to people. And they are approaching the court, or they're just putting us a press and tell that we need to be faithful. We know that this and this is not just. We need to do this. But citizens, we are not trying to be civil. We are really fighting amongst ourselves. So, like, how do I fight my neighbor just because his political stand has won and mine has not won? And even the person we are fighting for is even going to court. So why are we becoming the fool? Now that brings up a question between a politician and the citizens, who is a fool. So we need to learn to live together. We need to learn to respect each other, and we don't have to go to the streets and riots and start killing ourselves. We don't have to do that, because it doesn't help to kill your neighbor because of that. It doesn't.
It doesn't help at all. Quite some bit of thoughts there from my guest. She speaks some bit of sense as far as political conversations are candid and civilized political conversations are concerned. And supposing somebody has taken time to listen to you, Madam Mwanahamisi, and she'll be like, and he or she likes to be part of the Mombasa Civility program series that you're talking about here, how can they get in touch with you?
You can actually follow my page at Mombasa Civility Talk Series. The Facebook page is the most active page. I'm the one who is coordinating everything there. So if you get to me there, that's okay. You can also approach our email at mombasacivilitytalkseries@gmail.com. That's okay. You can get to me at that. You can also reach, I think that's okay. You can reach me through the social media or through the the email. That's fine.
Right. And talking about bringing on board different stakeholders and speaking about this matter, I know you alone as Mombasa Civility series, you may not.
I can't, and that's why I even have a team.
Very true. And we also have entities that can do something in making sure that we propel this mentality and change the whole aspect of our political views and conversation to at least bring some bit of sanity. Do you feel also they should take up this challenge and of course join you guys in doing whatever you're doing?
I welcome everyone on board because I'm also trying to approach a multi-sectoral approach whereby I involve different people, be it business people, people of influence, and all that, because I'm saying that civility is a language that we all need to speak. If I speak it alone, then the progress will even be like very little. So anyone who feels that this movement, and of course any sane person feels that this movement is good for them and good for the country. So I welcome everyone on board to join me in this because this is for us all. And I also welcome you as a media station to join us in this. We also look forward to have different types of these conversations also proceeding. So we welcome everyone on board because this is a language that we all need to speak, not just as Mwanahamisi. It concerns us all. Yes.
Right. And in between us all, we have those who kind of maybe want to give negative comments and give negative thoughts about whatever you do. How do you handle such people? I
told you, stones will always be cast. Okay, but as long as I have clear goals and I have a clear vision for the country that I want to see, for the peace that I want to see even after the elections and all that and throughout, because peace has to exist every day, they're not going to pull me down. Yes.
Never at all.
Yes, because I have a stand and I have a clear vision of what I want to reach or get here.
What makes you want to continue doing this?
It's because of the love of my community and the love of my people. And if there is no peace at my place, there is no peace at your place.
Right.
Most definitely. Okay. So in as much as I maintain, I'm worried that if there is no peace in Shadrach's home, I will not also be peaceful. So that keeps me moving. Yes.
Right.
Because even as you move to the streets and fight and all that and abuse, it's going to affect me in one way or another, either directly or indirect. So it is that what keeps me worried, and it is that what should keep everyone worried, because there is no peace in someone else's house, there is no peace in your heart too.
Right.
Yes.
Somebody may be wanting to know, maybe are you politically driven in some kind of way or what?
And I'm not politically driven in any kind of way. Yes.
Right. No any political aspirations going forward?
Of course no. Of course no.
Right. So it's solidly making sure that we have
civic activism.
Right.
Yes, civic activism.
Very true.
Yes.
Are you not a human activist?
I am. I am an activist.
Right.
Yes.
I once
advocate for different things.
I once hosted a human activist here, and he told me that everyone out there is a human activist.
Yes.
Like the noise I make here every morning, I'm also activating something.
That is true.
It's true.
Yeah, just the same way you will go out there and try to talk to somebody about something and tells you shut up, and you say I will not shut up, I have to say this. You are already exercising your freedom of expression. Right. You are already a human rights activist automatically.
Right.
Yes.
Of course, quite a lot we have had to discuss here concerning political, or rather civility in our political conversation. Remember, this is something that comes in a wake of heated temperatures and campaign periods where we've had a lot been spoken about. We've had different political conversations, some of which are spurring a lot of intolerance in the country. We've also had the NCIC speaking about this matter, saying there is need to have our temperatures, political temperatures be cooled down and have a candid and a very peaceful and cordial conversation that of course may be brought about by whatever they are propelling out there, that is civility in political discussions and conversations. So if you are out there and you intend in one way or another to engage in a political conversation, make sure you take up that pledge that Madam Mwanahamisi has been talking about here, and it all starts with you. It's a one man's decision to make sure that you at least make sure that in as much as you disagree politically speaking, then there is need to come up together again and work out, find who exactly is the best candidate that can solve those problems that you are facing as a local Mwananchi. Now, That is what we do every single morning right here on Boss TV. We take time and give you topics of discussion that are quite relevant and important to you. And today we were discussing that topic that pertains, that is civility in political conversations and the engagement of women and youths in a political conversation. And she has given out quite a challenge to the women out there to try and engage into this political conversation and not just sit down and wait for the men to make up the decisions for them and decide on who exactly they want to vote in. But of course the ladies too, and the women and the youths have a role to play in making sure that they engage into the political conversation. And on that note, I'm left by nothing but to pick up what is mine here and walk out of the studio. But I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to you who have taken time to watch us at the beginning of the show. That is 7 a.m. mark, and it's now some bit over minutes to 9 a.m. We'd like to say thank you so much for making time for us, and as well as thank you, my guests, for coming.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for listening to me, and all that I want to tell them that we are in this together.
We are in this together.
Yes.
Right. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
And we hope that the numbers will continue increasingly.
Thank you.
And I'll make sure also people in studio here will take up the pledge.
Yes, I'll bring a copy of the pledge.
Right. That is what Balam says here. There is that pledge that you need to take up in a bid to raise their numbers as far as their efforts and campaigns are concerned. Also, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the other side of the studio, beginning with my director, that is Mr. Abubakar. Thank you so much. And as well as the producer of the show, Mr. Bridget Omondi. Thank you so much, as well as those who had to serve us tea with these beautiful cups you see on your screen right now, with that label, the Boss TV, where inspiration strikes, and we will be striking every single morning. Goodbye. Have yourself a nice day. My name is Shadrack Ogega.